Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Virtual Wargaming Live Battle Report. Today I have a game of Warhammer Fantasy 6th Edition using the Little Lords rules between Orcs and Goblins and Wood Elves. This is my sixth game of Little Lords now, so I'm not going to go into all the details of what that is. The short version is that it is a small game of Warhammer with a Lord tier character for each side, and the Lord tier character costs significantly less points. Today's game we're playing on a new map that I am tentatively naming Five Fords on account of the Five Fords on it, obviously. I'm not convinced this is a good map. I'm going to have to play it a little bit more, but I think probably I will end up rejecting this one, simply because, as you can see, there are woods all over the place. And I guess there's some hills that might make it more interesting, but I feel like most armies are just going to struggle to do anything with the way the terrain's laid out, which isn't a problem for the Wood Elf side today. And for the Orcs and Goblins side, only 2 units, 3 units really want to move and get affected by it. So like I'm gonna find out how they go, and if it ends up being like really Wood Elf sided and oopsie daisy, then like whatever, it happens. We did science, we tried things. Sometimes they even work. So let me go ahead and jump into the armies, and as you will quickly discover, it is not appropriate to call this army an Orcs and Goblins army, because it's just all Orcs. So we have a Black Orc war boss leading the army, and they are mounted upon a wyvern. They have Bash's Big Axe of Bashan for +2 attacks, and a war boss Ironbad's Iron Gnashes for another +1 attack. However, this +1 attack has Killing Blow, which is frustrating because it means I have to roll it separate. And I love this little mask for him that I represented it with. I was going to use the Challenger helm piece, but I used that for dwarfs when they're in their, oh goodness, what is it called? The Gromrel armor. And so I decided to try something else. And I'm kind of evoking that samurai aesthetic that you see in Blade Masters in Warcraft. So yeah, that's what I'm going with today, and I know it's my hammer. I get to do what I want with it. Next up, we have a unit of 15 Orc boys. They have shields, but nothing else fancy going on. Then we have a unit of 15 Orc boy big guns. Big guns means they have +1 strength, and they are carrying spears and shields. So their goal here is this is going to be 20 strength 4 hits. Hopefully, that's enough to stand a chance against the Dryads. Next up, we just have 2 units of 5 Orc Arrow boys each. And then finally, our Bull boys down the bottom. On the Wood Elf side, we have a Treeman Ancient. For the Treeman, obviously, there's a very stylized look that Warhammer does for their their forest spirits, that I just cannot replicate with Hero Forge. So I'm leaning a bit more Lord of the Ringsy, a little bit more Treebeardy with him, and hopefully it looks good. I like this one a lot more than the ones I had before, because I'm just basically using the new faces and the new bodies to like really texture them. So we have a Treeman Ancient. He has a Pageant of Shrikes, an Annoyance of Netlings, a Lamentation of Despairs, and a Befuddlement of Mischiefs. And I'm going to quickly explain to you what all of those do, because off the top of my head, I would never know. So Pageant of Strikes is a 18-inch strength 4 shooting attack, always hits on a 3+, and it can target any model that he can see. So he can snipe out, well, if there were unit champions, he could snipe out unit champions. He can always hit the boss if he was like on foot and hiding or something. So it's just like a nice sniping tool. An Annoyance of Netlings, this is the big one. Enemies only hit on a 6 during challenges. If these two get into base contact, he can make that a challenge if there's nothing else there, and then he is nigh impossible to hit. So that's what we're hoping for on him. Lamentation of Despairs. This is a power level 3 bound ability. Target any model on the board, then make a leadership test or suffer D3 wounds. It's just a good way to try and snipe down the boss again. And then finally, Befuddlement of Mischiefs. Goodness, I was trying to say mixtures for some reason. Befuddlement of Mischiefs, power level 3, 18-inch magic missile. If it hits, the target suffers stupidity. For the rest of the army, we have 2 units of 8 Dryads, both with a Branch Nymph, and then a unit of 3 Treekin. So this army, minus the fact that it's led by a Treeman Ancient, is actually technically a legal border patrol army, which is really interesting. This one obviously isn't, because we have the unit of 5 Arab boys and we would need 10. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and quickly go over objectives. Both sides just got hold territory, so both sides need to just have some guys on the battlefield. It's going to be really interesting. I think like everything's is going to favor the Wood Elves, because I think the Wood Elves are going to be more aggressive. So they're going to be able to be like contesting the Orc sides rather than Orcs kind of like stuck where they are in many ways until they can get, because these guys can't cross here. They have to go a little bit smaller because it's only 4 inches wide, I've decided. I think this is the first time this has ever come up in any of my battles, so this is what I'm going with. And we've already rolled the first home, which was the Wood Elves. So, with that out of the way, let's go get started. So we're going to start off with our Dryads booking at 10 inches forward, because we are looking for a charge on these Orcs. These ones, okay, realistically, there is no way we're going to ever get to the Boar Boys without tanking a charge, so we're just going to go forward and hope for the best. Treekin, same thing. I'm going to push forward 10 inches. Unfortunately, we can't easily cross a ford with the Treekin, so we're kind of going to have to move up and then, like, sideways through it. But that's okay. And then a Treeman Ancient forward 10 inches. That brings us to our magic phase. So the magic phase is interesting because we have Tree Singing, which we can use twice at power level 3, the Despairs, and the Befuddlement of Mischiefs. So I'm going to start off by... Okay, so we're going to use Tree Singing, and we're going to... what we're going to do is we're going to start off with Befuddlement of Mischiefs onto the Wyvern Boss. And we're using this to pre-measure our distances, and he is too far away. So this tells me that this and this are both too far away. So what we're going to do then is we're going to target this one with Tree Singing. And he is close enough, yep. So we're not going to try and... Wait, are the Orcs going to try and dispel this one? No, we're going to wait for the other one. So 3. This goes 3 inches. Oh goodness, I just realized I can't measure it. Okay. I'm going to have to like manually do this. So I want him to be about there. We scoot him over. That pause is me going, wait, am I making a terrible mistake with ruining this map? But the answer is no, because I will be saving an end version. In fact, I'm going to quickly do that right now. Give me 1 second. Alright, I am back, and now I have saved this as a separate campaign, so in absolutely no scenario will I be destroying this map. So next up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to try and cast it on this one. Another Tree Singing. Yep, that's in range. And this time, the Orcs are going to throw 1 dice to try and dispel it, and they succeed. And then we're going to do the Lamentation of Despairs to try and hit the Black Orc War Boss. He's going to use his last dice, and that is also dispelled. So that brings us to the shooting phase. We're going to use Pageant of Strikes at the War Boss. Like I said, everything's just trying to... Oh wait, no, I'm not going to do it at the War Boss. I'm stupid. I would, of course, already know he's out of range, so we're going to go ahead and target one of the Orc boys. Okay, so we hit on a 3. We miss. Okay, that's fine. And that is the end of the... Wood Elf turn. So that brings us to our Orc turn. Okay. First things first, first things first is Animosity. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna quickly write a note. 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone passes. Charge declared from the Orc boys at these guys. Barely out of range, but like it was worth a shot. Wait, do they make a fear check? Yeah, I think they do make a fear check first. Yeah, they were fine. Okay, so then they would wheel ever so slightly. That's 0.8, so they go like 6.2 forward. But actually, they'll go this far forward, so 3.8. And then we have, what, 3.2 left, so 1.6 into here. That's really unfortunate for them, but that's okay. These guys, they're just going to move 2 inches forward. Actually, no, they're going to move 4 inches forward because they're marching. And I have made it obvious that I allow marching out of difficult terrain. These guys are going to go across. I'm going to go 8 inches forward. If they somehow don't get... Oh, wait. We have line of sight. Okay. I should have done this sooner because this is a charge. But I'm going to declare the charge, the war boss into the Treekin. And I'm like, yeah, he can see him, and yeah, he can make it, so in he goes. Finally, these guys, we're going to wheel them. Like so. 2.6, 1.4. There's no reason to have them up on the hill other than aesthetics, because this guy's a large target. He can be seen over everything. Alright, so that brings us to the shooting phase. These guys. Declaring at this guy. Okay, so we're at long range, but he's a large target, so it's going to be hitting on 4s. 5 attacks hit on 4s. Wound on 6s. Save on 3s. Predictable. Nothing. Even hit. Firing these guys. I'm going to say they can all see. So they're going to hit on 5s. I fully expect, for the record, that shooting is not going to do anything in this game. It's just kind of... Well, not at the tree man, at least. But even then, just in general, probably not going to do anything. Okay, so Orc Warboss on a Wyvern. He's hitting the Treekin. Let me start off with his attacks. So this is going to be his killing blow attack. No, he doesn't need to worry about it, actually, because they're immune to it. Okay, so 7 attacks. He hits on 3s. He wounds on 4s, because they have strength 5, toughness 5. And then they will save on, well, there'd be 4 ups normally, 5 ups, 6 ups, go. So he has successfully killed 1 Treekin. Then the Wyvern attacks. It will also hit on 3s. It will wound on 3s, and they will save on 7s. No, they'll save on 5s, because they have the ward save against the Wyvern. So that's 1 wound here. And then the tree can get to fight back. Okay, so the strength 5. Do we put this into the Wyvern, or do we put this into the war boss? The Wyvern has more wounds, and it's actually less of a threat, honestly. I'm just thinking about this real quick. Honestly, I think I'm going to put them into the war boss, because I want to kill him if I can. So that's going to be 6 attacks. So we'll hit on 4s, we'll wound on 4s, and we'll save on 4s normally, 5s, 6s. So he's not doing very good either. And that is 2 wounds on the war boss. Wounds 2. And then the Wyvern gets her tail attack. I don't know why I know why I say her. It's because I associate Wyverns with Rathians from Monster Hunter. I used to hunt so many Rathians back in the day. And so my brain just like processes all green Wyverns with poison as female. Even though that's kind of stupid. Okay, so these guys are unbreakable, I believe. I'm going to double check that real quick. Immune to psychology. Oh, that's interesting. Give me one moment. I'm going to quickly check, like actually read the rules to make certain that I'm doing this correctly. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, and I am back. So I'm an idiot and thought that they functioned the same way as demons did, or undead, where they're like unbreakable in a way. But no, they're actually very much breakable. So let's gonna have to calculate combat resolution like normal. So that's going to be 4 points for the Orcs versus just 2 inflicted by the Treekin. This is strength 6, unit strength 6. So they are making a test at -2. That's going to be an 8. So I need a leadership of 10. And we do not have it. So that is going to send them fleeing 2d6 inches. And the Orc is obviously going to pursue 3d6. Oh wow, okay. So they go 8 inches back. And he only goes 6 inches after them. That is kind of pathetic. Alright, and that is end of Orc turn 1. Okay, so real quick, how are we going to do this? I forgot about Strangle Roots last turn. Oh no, only 6 inch range, never mind. I didn't forget about it. Do I want to charge the Treeman Ancient at the boys? I think I do. I think... Okay, so these guys were 14 inches away, and they moved closer. So we're going to charge Dryads at Orc Boys, Dryads at... at Boar Boys, at Orc Boys with the big guns, and then Treeman Ancient at the Orc Boys. Okay, so... Let's first off check. Are you in range? You aren't even in range. I should have known that was the case. So I don't have to make a check, and these guys go 5 inches forward. Of course I would know that's the case. I'm the one who moved them. Okay, so that one is in range, so we're going to go 2d6. They are fine. Okay, so 9.5. So technically, actually what happens here is only like 2 of them make it into the combat proper to form up. And the rest have to remain sort of hanging on behind, and then they pile in next turn, which is really annoying. I did not think about the consequences of my actions. And then finally we have to check this distance. But yeah, that's definitely in. And that is their terror check, which I believe... Yep, 7 passes. So they are... He is in, and this is a fight. Magic phase. Okay, so magic missiles function exactly like shooting, meaning that he can't actually target these guys. Alright, I'm gonna have to quickly check something again. Hopefully I won't have to leave, but I might. Yes, I will. So I'm gonna be back in just a moment. Okay, I am back. So I was very quickly checking the rules for tree singing, and it does not specify unengaged unit. So we can just hit these guys with magic, and that's exactly what we're going to do twice, and then we're going to hit the last one on the Orc Wyvern boss. So first off, we're going to do 1 at them, and we're going to dispel this one as the Orc player, which succeeded. And that's going to be 5 strength 5 hits on the second one. So we're casting it again because you can do it twice with a Treeman Ancient. And that's going to be 5 attacks that hit on 1s that will wound on 2 3s, because of course Boar Boys, they're pretty tough. And let's see, light armor, shield, so 3 ups normally, so 5 ups. Yep, 5 ups to save. Just 1 dead. Not enough to cause a panic check. And then we're going to hit the Black Orc boss with the other one, and they have successfully dispelled that. And that is going to be the end of the magic phase. There is no shooting phase because he is engaged this turn. That brings us to our combat phase. So we're going to start off with the Treeman Ancient hitting these guys. And he gets... How many attacks does he actually get? I need to double check this. He gets 5 attacks. 5 attacks. He hits on 3s. He will wound on 2s. They will save on 7s. There's only a 5-up save usually. So that wipes an entire row. And we're going to come back to that one in a minute. So now we have 2 Dryads. That'll be 4 attacks. They will hit on 4s, I believe. I'm going to say 4s. Wound on 4s, save on 4s. Go. One more dead ball boy. Let me go ahead and pull this guy actually first, so I don't get confused. And then 3 of them get to fight back. 3 attacks. Actually, I think they have the same chances with their boars. No, wait. Yes, they do. So they all hit on 4s, so I'm going to roll them all together. 6 4s, 5s to wound, 5s to save. Go. Oh goodness, that's insane actually. Okay, so let's go back to combat resolution real quick. So, Orc boys, the front row got killed. So that's 1, 2, just 1, 2, and they still outnumber him, so 3. So they have lost by 1, and because he doesn't outnumber them, they don't auto-flee. So let's find out what happens. They are fleeing though, they're going 12 inches, he pursues only 3. And we do want to pursue here because we just want to close as much distance as we can onto the orc side of things. Okay, so then down here, we killed 1, we lost 3, this is 5 versus 6, so that's going to be an outnumber, so they are testing at a -4. A 7, yeah, it's definitely going to be sending them fleeing, but I'm just going to double check it real quick. Normally 8 minus 3 is 5. Yep, they're fleeing 6 inches. These guys are pursuing 13. So that's another dead unit. But these guys only actually go. So 3.5, that's 7. And then they go 6 more inches forward. Okay, this is going significantly better for the orcs than I expected it to. Okay. Orc turn 2. Oh, sorry, I forgot to rally these guys. Let me quickly do that. Yeah, they rally, so they're fine. So they turn to stand and fight. And then Orc turn animosity 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys need to rally. So rally first. Yep, they rally, and then animosity 1, 2, 3, and 4. Animosity check for the boys up the top, they're just squabbling. So these guys can't do anything, which is totally fine, because I didn't actually want them to. So charges. Wyvern into here. Whabam. These guys are rallied, so they're just going to stand there. And then these guys are going to... Let's think about this real quick, they cannot get into a fight this turn anyway. If we kill the Treekin, we just need to kill the Dryads, and then we can secure a border very easily. Remember, this Treeman Ancient isn't worth many victory points, same as the Wyvern. The army is the stuff that's worth points. And we've killed a decent amount of that as the Orcs. I think we want to prepare already for a victory condition. So we're going to go 2 inches forward. We're going to actually form ranks these guys correctly and wheel them in. Just delete these guys. Oops. So I went like 2, 2.4. So they can comfortably go like 10, and I'm completely fine with that. Yep, these guys are squabbling. Okay, so shooting. I'm just going to do all the arrow boys if they're all in short range. I'm going to call the one guy who isn't that he is, just so that I can roll these all together. So they normally hit on 4s, they'll hit on 3s, they'll wound him on 6s, he'll save on 3s, go. Yeah, expected outcome. Oh, actually, I forgot these guys need to terror check real quick. Yeah, they're actually fleeing 2 inches, so sucks to suck. Alright, and then combat. So, over here, 7 attacks. They will hit on 3s, will wound on 4s, and will save on 6s. Yep, that's what it was. Only 1 wound this time. But if the Wyvern can do another wound, then that's like huge. 6s, save on that one, nope. Okay, that's unfortunate. So then they're all just going to hit the Black Orc boss again. 6 attacks. Because if I kill him, then the Wyvern needs to monster reaction. I'll have to look up how to do that real quick. But with only a 6 leadership, it's actually significantly easier. It might actually just be able to be broken if we kill him. So we're going to put 4 attacks. 4s, 4s, 6s, 2 wounds. Okay, so wounds 3. There's an overkill, point of overkill. Wyvern gets its barbed tail attack. Misses. Combat resolution. Okay, so the Wyvern, there's 2 wounds here, 1 wound on this side. Outnumber, so that's going to be up by 2. So the Wyvern has failed its leadership and is fleeing 8 inches, and we're going to pursue 2d6, so we only get to pursue 8, but that's okay. Or 6, because we get another chance to charge at it next turn. Okay, real quick, I'm going to look up monster reactions. So I will be back in a moment again. Alright, so I am back, and it says basically to make a leadership test when it's first able to move and do things again. I'm going to just do that now real quick. So he has failed, and we will see how he behaves once he rallies. The monster remains steadfastly where it is, guarding the fallen body of its beloved master. The monster will not move, but it will face towards and use any breath or similar ranged weapons to attack enemy who approach within range. If the monster is engaged in close combat, it will fight. Okay, so basically, once it rallies, it becomes unbreakable, and yes, and immune to psychology. So that's going to be fun. Alright, and that is end of Orc turn 2. Unfortunately, it's still fleeing right now, so we're going to charge with the Treekin at the Wyvern. We're going to charge the Dryads at these Orc boys. And we're going to charge the Treeman Ancient at these Orc boys. Let's get some well, first things first. The Wyvern flees 8 more inches. So he flees to here. So obviously we're probably not going to be able to reach it. Oh, actually we can, I think. Yeah, I'm going to count that as reaching it. So he is dead. This guy is charging at these ones, so they make a leadership test. 6, they pass. So we're back in here, and then these guys get a leadership test. And they have failed, but because they're just Dryads, they will still get to fight. Whoops. I forgot to set these guys up. Yeah, because they aren't outnumbered, sorry, is what I'm trying to convey. Because they aren't outnumbered, they still stand and fight. They just have to, they will hit on 6s this turn. Okay, so magic. Once again, we cannot use the... Okay, so actually, here's an interesting thing. No one is in range to hit with the tree singing ability. I don't actually want to tree sing anything right now. And the magic missile can't be used, so really the only thing I have left is pick a target. So I'm going to pick one of these Orc boys, and we're going to roll 2d6. And if we don't get a 2, yep, nothing happens. Alright, so combat. Let's start here. This is going to be 5 attacks. They're going to hit on 3s. He's going to wound them on 2s. They're going to save on 7s. Go. 3 dead Orcs this time. The one remaining gets to fight back. He hits. He doesn't wound. Unfortunate. Then over here we have 14, 15 attacks from the Dryads that will hit on 4s, because weapon skill 4 versus, I think Orcs are weapon skill 4. No, Orc Boys are only weapon skill 3. I'm thinking of 40k, I think, where they're all weapon skill 4. But they do save on wound on 4s because they are tough, and they 6s. Okay. Not terrible. 7 attacks back. They unfortunately only hit on 6s, but they do wound on 4s because they are big guns. And that is a failure. Okay, so let's do combat resolution. Down here, 8 of them versus Tree Man Ancient Unit Strength 6, I think. Killed 3, 1 rank, so they actually have lost by only 1. And that is actually enough to keep them in. Oh my goodness, amazing. And then up here, these guys, so they have 2 ranks. They don't oh no, they do outnumber. Oh crap, that's a tie. Good job, guys. You did it. And next turn's going to be really bad for them because they don't have the fear problem anymore. Okay, so that's going to be the next Orc turn. So these guys have to make their leadership test, which they pass, and the other guys rally. So I have a theory on who we're going to be shooting. Next up, Orc War Boys. Okay. It's really tempting to keep them up here, but we need to acknowledge that probably there's a chance that they're going to be needed elsewhere. That's 3. That's 7. That's another 1.5. There we go. So now they can crest the hill and they can try and kill this extra tree man if needed. Arrow Boys. These guys moved, and they were all at short range. These guys didn't move, and they were all at long range. So I can roll them all together again. This is 10 attacks. They hit on 5s. They will wound on 6s, and these guys save on 4s. But if we kill 1, we score victory points. And we have killed 1, so that is victory points for the Orcs. And then we get to the combat. So Orc Boys Initiative 2, Tree Man Ancient Initiative 2. So because he won last time, he gets to go first. So he is making, again, 5 attacks. He hits on 3s, he wounds on 2s, they save on 7s. Go. 4 dead. Yeah, so they're going to auto break now. Then back over here, I think Dryads are Initiative 6, goodness. So that's going to be 15 attacks that hit on 3s, that wound on 4s, and save on 6s. Go. Only 1 dead Orc. Okay. Then we get 9 attacks back. These ones hit on 4s, they wound on 4s, they save on 5s. 2 dead Dryads. That is huge for the Orcs. So, over here, these guys automatically flee. These guys get a panic check. So that's a failed panic check. They flee 6, and we're going to pursue 5. But, like, that's fine. They're off the board. We pursue 5 this way. And how far do these guys flee? 6 inches. So I'm going to quickly just whip them around on the spot. And then because of the thing, they only go 3 inches. Up here, 1 rank, outnumber, an extra kill. That's 3 points that they've won by. That's a fleeing Dryad unit going 8 inches and being pursued 4. 8 inches back this way. And then, yeah, they just get sort of re-scrambled into a proper unit, and then these guys go 4 inches. Oh, I forgot Animosity, didn't I? Animosity would only affect these 3 units. I'm just going to quickly roll those. 2, 3. We were totally fine. Never punished. Never forgetting things. Okay, Wood Elf turn 4. So real quick. These guys have to rally. They have failed, so they're going to flee 6 more inches. And this time they would actually flee towards the board edge. So the Orcs kind of just want to hopefully have them not rally, and they flee off entirely. Tree Man Ancient. Okay, this guy is going to turn around and move 5 inches, well 4 inches, well 3.75. Actually, no, now that he's solo unit, he can freely meander. So he's going to just walk over to here. And this guy is going to walk over to here. So we're going up high here. Because specifically I want to force these guys to turn around to shoot at him. For all that it matters. Okay, magic. These guys are in the thing. So we're going to hit them, and I'm just going to have to tank it for at least the first one. So 2 strength 5 hits. I'm just going to roll 2 of them. 1 dead orc. Next up, I think I have range on these guys. Oh, I didn't even check if the forest was in range. Yeah, it is. You're good. Well, I'm good, I should say. I'm going to do it again. Yeah, and this time as the orc player, I'm going to try and dispel it, which I failed. So it takes 4 hits. I'm just going to roll these like this. 4 succeed on 3s. 3 more dead. These guys are already panicking, so it's not necessary. Magic Missile of Stupidity into these guys. I'm not going to contest it because I really need to contest up here for these guys. So these guys are just stupid now. And then finally, I'm going to try and contest that one, and I succeeded. So no more threats to these. Shooting turn. Let's see. 1 shooting attack, 18-inch range. Oh, wait. No, I'm going to shoot it at them. Alright, I missed that one. Yeah, I should have known that wouldn't work. But then we're going to Strangle Root. We're going to hit these guys right here. This is an artillery dice. So it's going to be 2 hits of strength 4. So 2 that wound on 4s go 1, and I'm pretty sure these guys get light armor, but I don't think they have. Nope, they don't have any armor. Okay, cool. So one guy just dies. And that is the end of the Wood Elf turn. Okay, here's the question. So this guy can't rally, so he's just going to get pulled off the board because he's just going to run that way. Here is the question. Oh, an animosity first. Let's start up the top. Success, 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 and then my stupidity check. Nope. So these guys just go 3 inches, or 2 inches forward. Charges. I'm going to charge these guys into the treekin. 9. That's a fail on their leadership, so they cannot charge him because he causes fear. And then these guys are going to... We're just going to pull them forward up to like here, honestly. And the plan here is basically now once the Dryads charge them again, they don't get the full frontage against them. And with that, that is end of Orc turn 4. Turn 5. Charges, yep. Treekin is going to charge the Orc boys. He's going to charge these guys. Fear checks for both. Failed. So these guys will hit on 6s, and these guys just flee. So they're going 7 inches, like this way. And you can go 10. So yeah, he'd catch them. So these guys are dead. Because also they should be slowed by the woods. And this guy just goes in. Hits there. And then finally our Dryads are going to rally check, and they succeed. Okay, so this fight comes down to this game basically comes down to this fight, actually. If there's even a contest on it. I don't know if there is. These guys weapon skill 3. Treekin is weapon skill 4. He hits on 3s, he wounds on 3s. These guys normally save on 3-ups, so 5-ups. 1 dead boar. Okay. 4 attacks back. They hit on 6s. They will wound on 6s. They will save on 4s. Go. Nothing. But, because they outnumber, that's a tie. So that brings us to... This guy didn't do any magic. I'm going to magic this guy, this unit. I think this is the only unit I can actually see. Completely forgot about that. So I'm going to 2d6 it, and yep, that's dispelled. Because they don't have range for the magic missile, nothing is in the forests. I don't want to move a forest around, so yep, that's it. Orc turn 6. Okay. Let's think about this real carefully. We've score points of the Treekin, we've score points of the Dryads. We are currently tied on control. We are losing this game is what's happening. But I can't get across here. I can't force anything here is the problem. Can I even do anything? I have... Okay, I'm not animosity. That's good. I think I kind of begrudgingly just have to, like... I hate doing this, but, like, it's the correct decision is to reform these guys in 1 rank. And then that, I believe, costs an inch of movement. So we can go 3 inches across. And we're basically just, like, fishing for a charge on the Dryads, if we can get it, which I don't think we can. And then down here, Treekin, fight. So the Treekin is initiative 3. The Orcs are initiative 2, but the Boar is initiative 3. So we roll a dice to see who goes first out of those two. And it's going to be the Treekin. The reason the top dice is the Treekin is because he is higher on the map. That's literally it. That's the extent of my decision-making process. But no wounds. Amazing. And this is going to be 4 hits, 4s, 6s, 4s, go. And that is a single wound on the Treekin. This is huge. Does he break? He breaks, and he goes 8 inches, and we're going to be giving pursuit for 11. So he's dead, and these boys are 11 inches closer. And that's a little bit of a problem, because I think they might be in the same quadrant as these guys. In fact, I know that this line straddles it, so they have to move forward next turn. Okay, so that brings us to end of Orc turn 5. How do we want to play this? This is getting significantly more tense than I expected it to be. Tree-Man Ancient is going to emerge. He is going to go this way, because he is gearing up to hit them with everything he can to try and kill one of these guys. And our Dryads. What do we do with our Dryads? Okay, let's think about this. 100 victory points are on the line for securing the tabletop, the board edges. If we can kill one ball boy between the shooting and the leadership check, which is... It's not likely, but it's possible. Well, actually, yeah, no, it's not likely, but it's possible. Then we can basically lock in the win. If we don't, these Dryads are worth more victory points to me, alive or dead. They're worth 108 victory points. I'm going to keep them alive. Alright, we're going to do something really dumb. We're going to pull them back to here. Alright, so magic phase. We're going to hit him with the magic missile that makes him stupid. Do they even want to contest that? I actually think the answer is yes, that they kind of have to. So we're going to roll 1 dice. That's contested. We're going to then cast a magic missile that tries to kill one. They've contested that as well. That is the end of the Wood Elf turn. Actually, Strangleroots on them? Nope, 10 inches away. Okay, so Orcs, they're 11 inches away, so they can just march straight into this one. Boars are definitely far enough away, so they can go ahead and march 5.6. Yeah, that's like 1.5. I'm just going to keep it like that. So I said 5.6, so 1.5, 6, 7 inches basically. And then they can go 3.5 into there. And that is the end of the game. So let's do some victory points real quick. So, Orcs have scored 195 plus 108 plus 100 because they do control the objectives. I'm just going to double check that real quick. Yes, they are very neatly in the lines. And the Treeman Ancient can't contest anything. So there's one held board, like one contested board, one Orc board. So that's 100 victory points for them. Opposite them, Wood Elves. Wood. 95, 35, 35. This unit was halved. Only 300 victory points. That is a 100 victory point lead for the Orcs, which means that the Orcs have won this game today. That was a lot closer than I thought it would be and a lot more fun than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting that to be a little bit of a stomp, and the fact that it wasn't is really impressive. Also, the map was actually better than I thought. This big open space was nice. I liked this. I liked this whole section. There weren't problem children here. Like, maybe I want to cut this one, but I'm not sure if I do. Like, what's the gap on the size on this? Like, yeah, you can fit a tiny little, like, 3-man unit through there. So you can do some shenanigans on this map. I wasn't going to test it again, but I'm going to test it again. Not next battle, though. Next battle, I have a different map in mind. I want to test out or rather, I should say not next, Little Lords or Warbands. I think I'm Little Lords next again. Yes, because tomorrow I am doing, what am I doing tomorrow? Goodness, I have forgotten already. Oh no, tomorrow is Warbands. That's right, but tomorrow is Warbands on the map that I did Dogs of War versus Beasts of Chaos on. So tomorrow we've got Empire versus Ogres. I'm very excited for that one. I had to make next to no assets, so I was very happy. Goodness, I'm just rambling on it. Let me refocus. Map was good. I like this map. I'm reusing this map eventually. Don't know when, but you will see it appear again for one final test. I'm not 1,000% convinced that it will be like a permanent part of my roster. But we shall see. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Can you tell that I was tired today by the fact that I got off track several times? But hopefully, it was still enjoyable. So until then, until tomorrow, which is going to be, as I said, Empire versus Ogres, Warbands. What's the size of that one real quick? That is a 450 point game. So, hopefully, I will see you there. And until then, boy.